Let it vibe real quick. Pick it up. Look. The city eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shot in the closet by the pop ball. Fuck what they heard, but tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation forces you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Told it in the ambulance, way above average. Spins taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Java come on, man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Mark Quad, telling me how the crackers turn this child into a ghost town. Focus out there, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Never light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no fancy. Try to warn them niggas, we play arms like tarantula. Them mother niggas rap, I make anthems for it. I really seen prophets under this banner. Make my enemies bow down on camera. Told my designer wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that's some dirty to handle. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo, spirit ancient, but I got a new Timmy Auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Arno. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yara, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than baby kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
You sucker. Stay put, man. And let us do our thing. Step to the side. You're a dime. Alright. We gonna take it to the new school right now. My man Shaw.
Money hold up on your shoulder.
South Pack. Holding it down. You know we waiting on y'all. We sit back waiting on them chariots. Hey yo, Shaw, let them know. Come on.
Talking about how much money you got, but in reality, the Lord just got you there to watch you fall. What's gonna save you in the end, but if you don't know, comprehend, choose knowledge over silver and gold. No, we ain't the same, I'm in the UPK. Ordained by the Lord to drop the jewels to poverty. The poverty, it looks so wild when we out on this bitch. And no, we don't pay no games. So stay home, little kids. It's like a sword what we say, but it's in the game like EA. For know your lane like freeways, or I have to see like CJ. I got my grind to replay, but I want your life like relay. I'm at they nick, cause I'm up next, nigga.
The material, I pick you up from uptown. Uptown. Hey, niggas swear they gotta hit what batter up now. Up now. But we are not the same. I'm a priest and prophet, okay.
Got money paying tithes for me. My people starving like some damn puppies. I'm a big dog, use a damn puppet. The lowest nigga in the school can probably show you something. Somebody bring me some wine. Is that my baby? That's Lil Bay. I call her that cause she wine. I'm in my mood, that's all the way. I should have been named prime time. But I'm a prince, so call me sharp, and I'll be quite fine. Yeah. Chariot and I'm whipping. I whip it like a new slave, the rose is different. Whip a devil for fun, cause he looks suspicious. Can't take the heat, will get your pussy ass off my list. Remember the days of old, could have booked the vision. I got a penny in my pocket, so I can't afford to skip it. Can't afford to forget it. Affected by it, me and my niggas. Dear Lord, let me get them, okay.
The material, I pick you up from uptown. Uptown. Hey. Niggas swear they gotta hit what batter up now. Up now. But we
You already know we preach the purpose of the Lord. It's only us and nobody else. Man. We waiting on them chariots. Scoop up all my niggas. This is One West. You know who we are. All right, Shaw. Let's get serious on them. Let's get real serious and let them know what's really in your mind. Come on.
I'm finna crush everything you believe. The government sleaze. They lie hard with tricks of their sleeves. They only want cheese. That's why they build it on slavery. We lost in the dream. That's why I'm going hard for my team. But look, true story, what I say, non-fiction. You need to know about this world that you're trying to get rich in. It's a great great landlord trying to get victims. The same thing gonna happen with Christ if we live the simple. They try to mimic us with this social so like accurate. Say I can't believe in the Bible, that shit is tackling. But that ain't happening. And I'm stitches so I ain't buying it. Prove what you think before you speak on my survival kit. Niggas is dumb as hell falling all that white shit. Talk about my family ain't home, you sucking white dick. But look at all our people's at home. We can't shit. We ain't got no school, no banks, money, or business, but on some real shit. Niggas ain't not that Luther King. I call him OG Mike, a new puppet, that's all I see. I call him OG Mike, he like white bitches plus 3 young. In the gutter, what you think he had a train for? Lost a lot on a lame ass Christian. Some motherfucking lane, the Lord said he is telling this for your pastor, for your bishop, for your mama, for your choir. I say use a hypocrite, take a step back in the proud. Me for serving at the flaws, keep the people overall. Back to the Lord, we don't keep it to the law. We was long and wrong in this land, no hope. But I realized Christ is a black man all along. And I had to read the book to realize wicked nations of men got some true lies. Christianity was forced on us Jews. My Halloween, you wanna be good and evil at the same time. Damn, but then they push it on kids. Now knowing the evil deep is deep with origins. But the color and the cannon got these kids in the trend. They go to a grown man house, they ring a door, let them in. Won't be mine serving out that paganism. Black people brain that just been fucked by the system. Not even knowing your demise that you keep it living. Plus the church's protocol, they just keep the temple. Over white so they say the law gone away. But keep wanting this the ties just to get your paycheck. I'm getting seasick cause all I see is fucking misfits. This world is paycheck. I'm here to say it's social listen. Shut up and give me mine, you motherfucking devils. And when I say the word devil, yeah, they pick a rattle. Some shit cause they ain't even got no melanin. Lie and deceive, but that's what the word devil meant. But who been lying to us so long while we on this land? Came to the Native Americans like they friends. Learn from the people how to cook, fish, and bathe. And all they got was a damn Thanksgiving day. I ain't done so don't tell me forgive them all. When I look at this land, this boy should have fall. All these plays like Egypt is getting hit hard. So hard, you don't have an answer for it. Hispanics still in cages right at the border. Straight as hell, one man giving out this torture. The all of Israel, that's why I said we live in hell. That's why I sleep with my shining pillowcase full of shells. We gotta wake up. It's by the time to reveal, yeah, we gotta wake up. I did a survey where I'm asking only white people what's the biggest mistake that they had made on earth, and they say Biden. Not even giving a damn that we was a slave fighter. We under rulership, but these devils look at the violence. My people getting rocked to sleep with the violin. I can't give up. Don't give up. I'm standing tall through the damn hell. I'm looking at everybody and you know I gotta keep my shit up. I can't even stop it. Ain't moving in silence. I can't even do what I do. Ain't moving quiet, but I look into the mirror. I see a man getting near Christ.
Y'all don't feel our pain, man. Cause like I told you before, we different. We just not the same, man. We handle things different. And y'all can understand our pain. Yeah, this one right here, this is just for the culture. We're gonna take them from South Cat over to the west side.
White land shit is crazy.
Big up Shaw. We're gonna do it one time, one west. Let's go.
Niggas want me dead. Crackers too, but it's cool ass niggas, they for the feds. My stick full of lead. In case these whole niggas try me, man, I might have to make that bed. No nigga even flex. Cause I walk the high talk and let you know my speech the trick. You heard what I said. Another move your life passing through your mind, now you're big. And I'm fresh like a motherfucker. Niggas hating cause they mom want us. I just coolin' by myself, but now they all on me. Shut up, bitch, eat a dick. I don't wanna love you. Sip that pool, I got your lace up out your shoe now. Look what you finna do, wow, it's hot. Hop around these niggas till you flop. I'm busy getting And all these niggas wanna duck, but it's cool, let me know I'm on the top. Steady in the courtroom, always fighting cops. Part of white man, the devil, and that's off the top. So they try to stop my movement with a block, but I beat the case every damn time, so they watch. Waiting on a nigga that try to make me slip up. Walking up on me like homeboy, what's in your cup? Do you have any drugs? Well, let me see the slug. Get your bitch ass back, you mad, you ain't getting love. Your wife made you clip it damn nuts, yeah, I know. Crazy what cool people look through for these hoes. But I ain't even pressed. I see why you going on, my nigga. You dead wrong, but I never get it on.
And white land shit is crazy. Black and white land shit is crazy.
I'm freshened up, cleaner than a motherfucker. Good juice in my cup is redder than the blood sucker. Drip on leak, yeah, drip on me. Hey, talking about, but what the fuck do you mean? Yeah, you see these damn bitches, they be choosing on me. But I don't want the bitch with that bitch drooling on me. I get to walking under cause she wanna moving with me. But I won't have it cause she easy like spaghetti, help me. I release it to the G. Who is he, that nigga from SC? Get your level straight before you approach a G. Cyan TC 0013. Sits on the stick, it got me cruising off the scene. The fuck do you mean? Yeah, nigga, yeah. They nigga be hating, but they can't penetrate us trying to shoot at us now later, but I'ma get you now. Potato on the bow, blang, blow.
Black and white land shit is crazy. Black and white land shit is crazy.
Don't you know we warriors out here? We soldiers? Those small little tiny problems you got? We make the shit look easy.
I make this shit look too easy. Hate that neighbor, you probably see me on TV. Talk shit, but I really like this in 3D. You talk shit, but never when you see me, yo. I make this shit look too easy. Hate that neighbor, about to see me on TV. Talk shit, but I'm like this in 3D. Light skinned nigga that feel like a TV. Type of nigga use a ski mask for a beanie. For Rico, a top Kasiki. Who's your nigga probably sipping on Fiji? Ring finger shining, looking like E.T. Whoa, red bottles, I dream a genie. 10 years and I like that neatly. Beat yelling out, please don't eat me. Stomach growling, feed me, feed me. Bad bitch saying, when you gon' teach me? Light skin and she look like Sweetie. We was in Atlanta, met her on Peachtree. Got drinks, want an apple martini. I'm laughing, that's so Evie. She like, let me find out you freaky. Why you gotta tease me? Please come keep me. She just wanna shower scene like me. Girl, in your body, but your mind don't please me. These hoes, they way too leechy. They be choosing any, meanie. Everything Gucci, everything Beachy. Ain't one West Country man or cheap. Home with the truth, that I say that freely. Words to your pot, these niggas so sweepy. This shit trash, you way too preachy. Y'all can't see me, jeepers creepy. Fuck with my niggas and there ain't no retreat. Option in public, then act sneaky. Y'all apologize discreetly. Talk so beefy, act so leafy. I'm in go mode, I'm just beastly. Fuck you, pay me, don't give freebies. Haters talk shit, y'all can't beat me. I shoot missiles, they heat seeky. Undefeated, I'm going for the 3-beat. No surrender, ain't no retreat. Wake up, kill shit, then I repeat. Flow disgusting, way too skeevy. This shit COVID, y'all just sneezy. I just want that green zucchini. All about my chicken, make it greasy. Put my niggas on, though, I ain't greedy. In that football, cop that EP. Unfuck with a bull like EB. What would y'all do without Wi-Fi? We ain't rocking no dashiki. Leave my mark like it's graffiti. MP3 vinyl or CD. Killing every track completely. Vinny, Fiji. It's the true boy, fuck your theory. Fuck your uncle Nefertiti. Who's the greatest? Let's say Siri. You are. I think that's what that bitch would have said, though. This nigga crazy. Something like that.
Yeah, right.
Something like that. Yeah,
that's what you would have said.
Peace.
We make it look easy out here. But y'all struggling and straggling along. Talking about y'all got the truth. Y'all niggas is funny. One West, UPK, unintended project kids. We make it look easy, man. That's what we do.
These hoes, they way too leechy. Never when you see me.
Don't you know we warriors out here? We soldiers? Those small little tiny problems you got? We make the shit look easy.
I make this shit look too easy. Hate that neighbor, you probably see me on TV. Talk shit, but I really like this in 3D. You talk shit, but never when you see me. Yo, I make this shit look too easy. Hate that neighbor, probably see me on TV. Talk shit, but I'm like this in 3D. Light skinned nigga that feel like a TV. Type of nigga use a ski mask. Full beanie, Borico, a top Kasiki. Who's your nigga probably sipping on Fiji? Ring finger shining, looking like E.T. Whoa, red bottles, I dream a genie. 10 years and I like that neatly. Beat yelling out, please don't eat me. Stomach growling, feed me, feed me. Bad bitch saying, when you gon' teach me? Light skin and she look like Sweetie. We was in Atlanta, met her on Peachtree. Got drinks, want an apple martini. I'm laughing, that's so Evie. She like, let me find out you freaky. Why you gotta tease me? Please come keep me. She just wanna shower scene like me. Girl, in your body, but your mind don't please me. These hoes, they way too leechy. They be choosing any, meany, everything Gucci, everything Beachy. Ain't one West Country man or cheap. Home of the truth, and I say that freely. Word to your pot, these niggas so sweepy. Your shit trash, you way too preachy. Y'all can't see me, jeepers creepy. Fuck with my niggas and there ain't no retreat. Option in public, then act sneaky. Y'all apologize discreetly. Talk so beefy, act so leafy. I'm in go mode, I'm just beastly. Fuck you, pay me, don't get freebies. Haters talk shit, y'all can't beat me. I shoot missiles, they heat seeky. Undefeated, and I'm going for the 3-beat. No surrender, ain't no risk sneezy. I just smoke. I dream a genie. 10 years. Immediately. Beat yelling out, please don't eat me. Stomach growling, feed me, feed me. Bad bitch saying, when you gon' teach me? Light skin and she look like Sweetie. We was in Atlanta, met her on Peachtree. Got drinks, want apple.
Shalom, sir.
Shalom. Clap it up. All right. Welcome to our viewers online. Welcome to our, not Israelites, but the satellites. All right. This is I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Started at 1 West 125th. To be the leader of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. I want to say Yahweh Sham Yahweh Barakatah to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Basham Yahweh to the sisters. All right. Wi-Fi thing, yeah. All right. Look like a steadier now. All right, we're jumping right into it. Now, if you study our captivities from way back, from the time of the judges, well, more so from the Babylonian captivity. Babylonian captivity, Grecian captivity, Roman captivity, and now the extended daughter of Babylon captivity. You'll realize one thing in common: the oppression of the poor.
Good.
Yeah, there's always the oppression of the poor in all of our captivity. So much so that when I think even from the time when we just came out of Egypt from first there was a little tussle between the Avs, those among us who were the Avs, and Moses. Yeah. And they were all telling Moses about, they are leaders too, and God talked to them as well. And, because they have wealth and they know to monitor themselves. But what Moses has to be teaching them is that the way they learn in Egypt to gain their wealth, that won't be so among us.
Right.
Just like today, our people have to learn that the way in which you gain your wealth in the world now is not so when the Most High, when we learn in our laws. All right, somebody on YouTube. Zuki King say, yo, blood, when is the Sabbath? Sabbath is Saturday, begin Friday evening, Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. One thing you'll realize, what's your name again? Zuki King. One thing you'll realize, they have changed the time, but they haven't changed the days. Sunday from the year now, what year are we now? We are in 2022. Meaning they have been counting from 2022 years ago. Not much have changed. So when you hear people that talk about this year for a long time and blah, 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 that is just them being ignorant. The only people that have lost time is really we who are in captivity. The other nation haven't lost time. Right. When the other nation when America need to know something, they go to the Library of Congress. Let us go in the Library of Congress and do some research. So, yeah, Saturday sundown. Gregorian calendar not in tune with the moon. Yeah, we know that, but Sunday is still Sunday. The thing with them change in the Gregorian calendar. Rather than 13 moon to the year, they use 12 months. But it's 13 full moon give it a year still. That's the original thing. But that's really semantics. Saturday has always been the same Saturday. That's why it named Sabado. The same day that the Sunday, beginning of the week, they worship the moon. They know that. They all know that. When the Pope was changing, the change in Gregorian calendar, Julian calendar, whatever, they knew what they were changing from and changing to. So them fool everybody else, they didn't fool themselves. So that is why we are able to go back to them old time calendar and things. But the Sabbath is still the same. All right. So what we're talking about now is oppression of our people. But Zuki King, it's not really something that we do to dwell on. And I tell you. And I tell you why. It's those little things which we don't really have control over. That would really divide us. We don't have control over that one day. What we have control over is we do our own calculation, know when is the beginning of spring, when to find the Passover. So we do know which day is the Sabbath. But anyway, when a year we say we have certain feast days, is we do our calculation by the moon. We here in the I.S.U.P.K do our calculation by moon to know the feast days and to know which day is the first day of the week, which day is second day of the week, all the way down to the 7th day. So when we tell you that they haven't changed that, we know. Just like how they haven't changed the 1st of April to be the tax year. They change everything else, they don't change that. But anyway, that's not the topic of our...
Salakia, sir.
Yeah.
Zuki King, he might make some talk as if, you know what I mean, whatever source he might learn from is the truth. And he might make a talk like he might say, you know what I mean, we are still students, so we're not supposed to teach. Brother, you not allowed to teach. You're not in the truth. The ISUPK started this, what you talk about.
Right, so what is he in?
You understand? This is where the truth is. The ISUPK has always been here. Where you mean we are not qualified to teach? You are not qualified.
What is he in?
You understand?
I mean we can't teach. We just tell you what we tell you. We do our own calculation. That's what I just told you. We here in the UP get our own calculation at the time to know when is the high holy days, when is the Sabbath. And what we have found is that this day which you say is the 7th day is the 7th day. Right. So oppression has always been, you know, whenever we are in captivity, we learn the way of the heathen. And the way of the heathen always teaches us to oppress each other. Yeah.
Right.
Can't teach if you don't know. I never tell you that we don't know. We tell you what we do. We do our own calculations. All right, so we're going back to now. We're going back to the Babylonian captivity again. The book of Nehemiah. And what we are going to see is we oppressing each other, but it is an oppression which we learn from the heathen. Oh, you know that? Because our law doesn't teach us to oppress each other. So we oppressing each other, we didn't learn it from our laws. We would have learned that from the heathen. Nehemiah chapter 5.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 5, verse 1. And there was a great cry of the people and of their wives against their brethren, the Jews. For their word that said, we, our sons and our daughters, are many. Therefore we take up corn for them, that we may eat and live.
All right. Their word that said, we, our sons and our daughters are many. So in other words, what they were saying is that why we have enough picking in us, so we have children to feed. That's basically what they were saying. Continue.
Another one, Khan. Some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our lands, vineyards, and houses, that we might buy corn because of the dearth. There were also that said, we have borrowed money for the king's tribute, and that upon our lands and vineyards.
All right.
Yet now our flesh is as the flesh.
Hold on. So there were some that said, we borrow money to plant corn. In other words, we borrow some money to put in farming. We borrow money to pay the king's tribute. So we have to make it back. That's what they were saying. Now, what they were doing here was finding excuses or reasons for their oppression, for their oppressing each other.
That's right.
The oppression of each other. Why I hear me borrow some money I have to borrow money to pay the king taxes, so I have to make it back. Some say borrow mortgage with land and with house so that we can buy corn, can buy some food because of the dirt, because of the sufferation, the oppression, the captivity. Right. So they're saying all these things. Continue.
Another one, Khan. Verse 5. Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our children as their children. And lo, we bring into the bondage our sons and our daughters to be servants. And some of our daughters are brought unto bondage already, neither is it in our power to redeem them? For other men have our lands and vineyards.
Right. So it worked out for some, but it didn't work out for some. Some they borrow to do some farming and thing, but they end up worse. The children end up in bondage because they have to, how do I put it now? You'd have to understand the laws back then. You owe and you can't pay, your family could become captive to whoever you owe.
Can't.
That was how it was back then, So that's why they say our flesh is now like the flesh of the regular brethren that we have. So they were crying to Nehemiah. Continue.
Another one, Khan. Verse 6. And I was very angry when I heard their cry and these words. Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the Salakia, and I rebuked the nobles and the rulers, and said unto them, Ye exact usury, every one of his brother, and I set a great assembly against them.
All right. So who were doing the usury now? We were doing it to ourselves. He said, because many of us who were already nobles from noble lineage, we had gone and make covenants or peace with the oppressor. At the time, the Babylonians, and now the Persians. So they managed to have some amount of money which they could lend to their own brethren, but they were lending to their own brothers with usury. What is usury? You have your thing there, Officer Kayaro, and your Bible dictionary.
Cancer.
All right, so if you can find usury.
Another one, gun.
Here, Rasta clip, I preach against you, man. You're from the lineage of the oppressor. That's why you don't like to hear it.
Another one, gun.
We're speaking from the Bible. So if you don't like to hear it, it's you have a problem. Right, Rasta clip, Mr. Whiteman. Continue.
Another one, gun. Usually, Salakia. God gave specific instruction to Israel with regard to interest and money loaned. Any money that a Jew lent his brother was to be without interest.
Right. So usury is basically just interest. Right. Interest, and why you think mash up with the bank these days? That interest rate that they charge. And they tell you about what they call it, processing fee. Processing fee and all kind of fee, right? All kind of charges, and they charge interest. So the interest that they were charging our brothers then is just like today. Nowadays, all right, personal loan carry a higher interest rate than business loan from any banks today. Business loan is a little cheaper than personal loan. Let's say you want a loan of $2 million to do business. The red tape for that business loan is way more than the red tape for a personal loan. And they will give you a personal loan of up to, say, $5 million without any security. But they will not give you a business loan of $1 million without security. So that unsecured personal loan, the interest rate is much higher than the business. That is usury. That is what is destroying you as a people. And it's not new. From way back then when Rasta Clip people them was in power, and they're still in power now. Rasta Clip ancestors used to do us that, and they still are doing that. And Rasta Clip now want to come and tell us that we should not speak about it because it hurts him. Well, guess what, Rasta Clip? Rasta Crip. Too bad for you. I got to let our people know. Right? So, so the usury was the problem with our people then. So, in other words, what Nehemiah was saying that the nobles them are lend to them own brothers with usury and I destroy our own people. So what our own people have to do is to flip the oppression back on them brothers too. Because if you go and borrow money to buy a corn at an interest rate, then you're going to have to sell the corn at a higher price than normal.
That's right.
Yeah. So you now going to have to pass on the oppression. And then you end up with a chain of oppression. Can't work. You can't build any society that way. If you notice, banks and certain businesses, whenever there's any financial crunch, you always hear them talk about too big to fail. That is just an excuse to pump some money on these people because they know that they can't really save these businesses with usury. So you will hear that they pump $1 billion in this industry, zero interest rate. Because our oppressors know that any industry that they want to save, they cannot save it under the banner of a loan with usury on it. They understand that. And another way they have managed to pass on that, I don't know if we would call it usury, but it's oppression, is inflation. If you notice in the scripture, it talk about the price of certain things. And the Bible was written from how many years ago? And the price has never changed. From the Old Testament to the New Testament, certain prices, even the charges in our laws, they never go. It remains the same. Why? Because they don't. Our society as Israelite doesn't factor inflation. We don't carry that. Because we don't use, for one, we don't use they call it fiat money. We don't use the fiat dollar. We use real silver, real gold. Right, Rasta Clip, but your Rasta Clip, but your family now take some paper off the road, print some money value on it and give it to us and say, oh, this is money. Yeah, we understand the oppression there. And you call it foolishness. But we can't call it foolishness because we understand what is keeping our people down. The man who is giving you that fiat money is the one that is rich, not you.
That's right.
All right, so where we are now again?
Verse 8 are the one.
All right, verse 8.
Khan are the one, Khan. And I said unto them, we, after our ability, have redeemed our brethren, the Jews, which were sold unto the heathen. And will ye even sell your brethren? Or shall they be sold unto us? Then held they their peace and found nothing to answer.
All right. So Nehemiah now said, we the leaders, that's Nehemiah, Ezra. Who else? Who else was in the leadership? and some others, right? They are saying that we, with our ability, we have redeemed our brethren. Because, you know, which one of them was the cupbearer again? Nehemiah, right?
Another one can't.
Nehemiah was a cupbearer to the king. He used that privilege of being so close to the king to redeem his brethren and rebuild Jerusalem wall. Then there was Ezra, who became Ezra was the high priest, became the high priest. He was granted certain privilege to now go and rebuild the temple. And then you have Esdras, who was governor within the province of the Persians. He used his ability to, as a Levite priest, to redeem his brethren. So they are now saying to the bankers, he's now saying to the bankers, we have redeemed our brethren. Are you going to continue selling your brethren to the oppressor? When they hear it that way, they have to hold their peace. They say nothing. You know, I wish we could say the same thing to our bankers today. Yeah. We wish we could have said the same thing to our bankers today, because that's one of the oppression that is holding us back. And if you realize, what you know, the talk among Andrew, I was listening to Andrew on news today, just since evening, and what him talking about. Boy, I'm going to hold dialogue with the opposition regarding what? SOEs, state of emergencies. So in this government's mind, and I'm talking both parties, kind of make no difference, solving crime is not redeeming the people. Solving crime is putting on more pressure with state of emergencies on the people. But here you have Nehemiah showing you truly how to redeem the people, get the oppression of money off them. Them high interest rates that you can't build nothing with them, right? You cannot build it. All right. So, like I said to you out there in TikTok world, I will tell you, we are the home of the truth. Remember, just you, whenever you try to come up against us, just remember this: you're coming up against a school. You're not coming up against Officer Abadawan. You're not coming up against Officer Kayaba. You're coming up against a school. And if we call ourselves a school, it means that we do researches. When we speak, we would speak from the vantage point of some amount of knowledge, great amount of knowledge. And I will tell you, we speak from the vantage point of the full knowledge of the Bible. Right? If there's something none of us don't know, it goes to the highest end for explanation. So when we're telling you the oppression thing, it's what is in the scriptures. But the Christian pastor won't read it, and if he even read it and understand it, he's not saying anything against it, you know. The first thing you're going to hear him say, well, me not lend my money without me get some interest on it. That's the first thing the pastor would say, but at the same time, he wants your 10% without you charge him anything on it, without you hold him accountable for anything. Right? Fox done 876, we know nothing. Well, I don't know what you mean by that. But I say we know nothing. All right, so read on.
Another one, Khan, verse 9. Also I said unto them, we, after our ability, have redeemed our brethren, Salakia. And I said, it is not good that ye that ye do? Ought ye not to walk in the fear of our God because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies?
Hold on, hold on. You do a little mix up a while ago. Read verse 9 again.
So, like you said, I stopped and read verse 9. Do you want me to read it again, sir?
Yeah, read it again.
Khan other one Khan. Verse 9. Also I said, it is not good that ye do. Ought ye not to walk in the fear of our God because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies?
Right. So it's really, this oppression was really placed on us by the heathen, our enemies. But it was being perpetrated by our people. So now that it's time to redeem the people, it is really in the hands of our people this time in Nehemiah time to redeem the people. That's why he went to the nobles, because the nobles were the ones who were passing on that oppression. So you think of our banks out here in Jamaica. You have NCB, who is, you know, at the helm of NCB is a man who is a Jamaican. Could we go to him with this and say, why, you know, slavery done? Are you going to perpetrate this act by continue charging the people usury to the point where you are destroying the various industry, the various, what do you call it now? The various avenues in which our people would make money. You know, I wish we could go to Leachin with this. But we know we can't go to him because the first thing I'm going to tell you that you and I are not the same. First thing I'm going to tell you. Or he might not want to tell you that to your face. Him sit down and then listen to you and then give some little smirk, smile on him. Yeah. And when you're gone, him say, I want him think. Me and him I say, me a Chinese. Look out for the Chinese community. Help them. We don't go help one another. Can we help each other without this financial institutions? We can't. The only thing we can do is what Christ said. Feed the hungry. You know, the various things that him tell you to do. Clothes who want clothes, help who without a roof, and you can put a roof over their head. You know, help the poor. That's all we tell you. But you are also poor. We are also poor. So our help is just to a certain extent. But if you want to lift the people as a whole, you have to remove this usury from off them. And that's one thing that our government is not prepared to do. Our government is more prepared to have states of emergencies on our people. Now, it's either incompetence or they know that removing usury is going to affect those who are close to them and maybe cause their life or something. I don't know. But just the other day, they managed to ring the banks and tell them, say, listen, you can't exact no penalty on the people for this COVID. For those who fall short of payment during COVID time, you can't exact no penalty on them. And they had to listen. So that shows that the government has some amount of power. So if the government wants to help the people, really, that same taxes that we pay, you will help him from that. You can't business what these people want to say. They are the same ones who cry out when these same people who you should pull out of oppression, when they turn to crime, is the same people who is going to cry against you about you're wasting taxpayer money. Is them same one going to cry against you about you can't control crime. And everyone knows that crime is a social problem. And one way that America brought, if you notice whenever time things get tough in America, you know what they do? They drop interest rates.
Why you think they drop interest rate? In Jamaica, what they do, they increase interest rate. Over there, they drop interest rate. Why they drop interest rate? If they in America, you see what happened after COVID with the smash and grab and crime going up, and then you have gas price going up, what the government had to do? Open up their reserve, oil reserve, and flood the market so that gas price can start going back down. Because if it continues, crime is going to increase. So why is it our government cannot see that and do better when it comes to redeem our people from usury? Continue.
Another one, verse 10. I, likewise, and my brethren, and my servants, might exact of them money and corn. I pray you, let us leave off this usury.
Right. So Nehemiah said, me, my brethren, and my servants we could have exact on them money and corn. We could tax them because Nehemiah became the governor of Jerusalem. So he's saying we could tax them. But we're not doing that. So we're asking you, leave off the usury. All right. Verse 11.
Another one, restore, I pray you, to them, even this day, their lands, their vineyards, their olive yards, and their houses, the wine and the oil, that ye exact of them. Then
All
said
right.
they.
Hold on. Let's keep out that part. Go back to 11.
Another one, verse 11. Restore, I pray you, to them, even this day, their lands, their vineyards, their olive yards, and their houses, also the 100th part of the money, and of the corn, the wine, and the oil, that ye exact of them.
Right. So take this usury off them. So he's telling how the usury was exacted. They tax their corn, they tax their wine, they tax, well, not tax, interest. Interest on their corn, their wine, their oil, and their money. And they have their houses, their vineyards, their olive yards as security. They hold them as security, restore it back to them. That's what the governor now, Nehemiah now the governor speaking to them. Continue.
Another one, verse 12. Then said they, we will restore them, and will require nothing of them. So will we do as thou sayest. Then I called the priest, and took an oath of them, that they should do according to this promise.
Right. So, you know, in Israel, your word is your bond. So when they say, yes, I will do it, he let them swear before the priests. Because by them swearing before the priests, if they don't do it, then the Most High is going to exact punishment on them. You understand? That is what? What do you call that? What's the name for that? They making this statement before the priest. What do you call that?
That's called a vow.
Thank you. Brother, that's a vow. And we have laws. That's a law. That's a vow. That's why Christ said, what you say will be required of you. Right? So that's called a vow. So he made them, so when they say to him, it's not a vow, you know. So when they say, yes, man, we'll do it, man, that's not a vow. But when he made them do it before a priest of the Most High God, then it becomes a vow. All right. So that is like you signing the contract now. Verse 13.
Another one, Also I shook my lap and said, so God shake out every man from his house and from his labor, that performeth not this promise, even thus be shaken out and emptied. And all the congregation said, Amen. And said the Lord, and the people did according to this promise.
Right. But that was in Nehemiah's time. Could we get the rich among us to do the same for our people today? You think so?
Yeah, sir.
Why couldn't we get the rich among us? Why couldn't we get the rich among us? Like, for instance, Rasta Clip. Cut this foolishness out. What kind of explain what you mean by foolishness? Type what you mean by foolishness. Because obviously you are not affected by usury, but we know that the vast majority of our people is affected by usury.
Salakia, sir. All you have to do is just go on him YouTube channel, man. He's a, you know what I mean? He's a musician aspired. You know what I mean? Come from Jamaica or Rasta. You know what I mean? He's a part of the Crip gang. You understand? Yeah, he's not an oppressor. He's just one of our last brothers, them. You know what I mean? We are search. He don't know why I'm over here, but you know what I mean?
Who is behaving like they think there.
Right, he might behave like the oppressor. I mean, in the spirit of the oppressor. You understand? So like okay.
Where are the viewers? You know where about the viewers? When by the class finish, you see the numbers up there. You don't see it now. Because of you.
Salakia, sir.
Yeah.
Salakia, sir, to make him know that the Most High don't, you know what I mean? The Most High don't favor numbers, you know. You know what I mean? It's just a few. You understand? Yeah,
but
so don't numbers.
Look what Nehemiah was doing. It was a few of them went back to rebuild Jerusalem. You know?
Right.
It was a few compared to the numbers that went into captivity. The number that returned, but it was sufficient to rebuild Jerusalem. So you see the size of the UPK, it's sufficient for today. And it will be growing. And it is growing. So you don't watch why you want to put out all our numbers out there so little spies like you can we militant, you know, we know what it mean by we know what it mean by spies. Right? And you don't come on here and call anybody boy, or we're going to block you. If you type one more disrespectful comment in there, we're going to block you. All right. Read on, brother.
Khan. Verse 14. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year even unto the 32nd year of Artaxerxes the king, that is 12 years, I and my brethren have not eaten the bread of the governor.
So, well, you know what you mean by that? Guess what you mean by that? What do you mean by him and the brethren have not eaten the bread of the governor? Is he saying that we have not?
He's not agreed with their rules.
Repeat that.
You've not eaten with the governor, eaten the bread of the governor. They don't agree with the rules.
With the rules. All right, let's read on. That's not what he was saying, but read on and let's see.
Khan, verse 15. But the former governors that had been before me were chargeable unto the people, and had taken of them bread and wine, besides 40 shekels of silver. Yea, even their servants bear rule, over the people, but so did not I, because of the fear of God.
All right, so this give you a better idea what he's saying now. What is he saying? About not eating the bread of the governor. What is he saying now? Anybody? What is Nehemiah saying about not eating the bread of the governor? All right. One more verse.
Another one, verse 16. Yea, also I continued in the work of this war. Neither brought we any land, and all my servants were gathered thither unto the work.
All right. Come again. Read again.
Verse 16 or 17, sir?
17.
Another one, verse 17. Moreover, there were at my table 150 of the Jews and rulers, beside those that came unto us from among the heathen that are about us.
All right. 18.
Another one. Now that which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep. Also fowls were prepared for me, and once in 10 days store all sorts of wine. Yet for all this required not I the bread of the governor, because the bondage was heavy upon this people.
All right. The governor. All right. What would the governor do to get his pay?
Tax the people.
Thank you. So when him say you have not eaten the bread of the governor, what is he saying?
He's saying he have not profited from, you know what I mean, the taxation.
From being a governor.
Okay, good.
So in other words, he was doing that work without, say it? Without pay.
Good.
He was doing his duty unto his people without pay. Because he realized how fragile the rebuilding process was. If he taxes them now while they are rebuilding, he's going to destroy that root, that young shoot, because the taxes were already heavy on the people. And he is just giving them some freedom from usury. So for him now to go and tax them so that he can get paid, that could destroy the people. So in other words, he was telling you that he was doing it without pay.
Come on.
I wonder how I mean, what's your salary in the I.S.U.P.K today, Officer Yara Yala?
What was that,
What's
sir?
your U.P.K today?
Shalaki, I can't hear you, sir.
What is your salary from the U.P.K today?
Salary?
Yeah.
Meaning what, sir? Ties?
What is your salary in the U.P.K today, Officer Kayadwan?
So that, sir, the benefit of being in the truth.
Our salary is 0, just like Nehemiah.
Okay.
You see, Officer Yala, that you know what I'm talking about. He said, what do you mean by salary? So when you people online keep on talking that truth, so I don't believe that, we're getting salary and things. We're just like Nehemiah. This is an embryo stage of our people. What we do is from our heart and from our pockets and from whatever. Some of you might be kind enough to give some donation. Back then, in Nehemiah time, the 10% would have been paid to the temple. But they were just beginning. So the 10% not even start coming as yet. Right? So, you know, when you out there on TikTok land and YouTube and, you know, out there being a satellite Israelite and you know, you're talking this and you're talking that. That's why Christ said, take up your cross and follow me. Yeah. What was Christ's salary for what he did? What was Isaiah's salary? What was Jeremiah's salary? All the judges, Samuel and all the judges, what was their salary? This is not an hired hand work. This is not work for hired hands. This is work of duty.
God. Sister Lucky, sir. May I have a priest.
Stick up in, hold it, precept. We have a duty to our people. Some of us take it up and some of us don't. Some of us stay behind, throw stone, scoff, and thing. But really and truly, you all don't have the heart to do what we do. So you can't talk to me. Yes, precept.
Can, sir. In a Luke 9:58, where Yahawashi said, and Jesus said unto him, foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has where to lay his head.
You know what people say about that? He did not have anywhere to lay his head because he was running from the Romans. That is how they interpret it, you know. But Christ is telling him, don't get a salary for what I'm doing. He is not paid. Right? He don't even know where he's going to sleep. That's what he's telling him. And that is always the what's the word? You don't know. That's always the burden of a prophet.
That's right.
You notice even in Christ's time, Christ had to, you know, what did the disciples say? Master will give up all that we have to follow you. Christ will assure them that, yeah, you're giving up all, but you're going to be repaid in the kingdom. And that we being repaid in the kingdom is to ensure that people like Rasta Crip, where that one name again, Moshe or Moshaya, the other one on TikTok.
Messiah.
Messiah. Right. People like Messiah and Rasta Crip and all you out there in satellite land to ensure that you have a better life, that you are not being charged usury, and that you can grow. And what are we doing? We are actually laying down our life for that. Right? Doing it for our people. This is a duty. This is not an hired hand duty. In other words, this is not a job that you go to they call the schools that the pastors them go to again. Theological college. This is not a job that you go to theological college and then you come and they negotiate how you're going to get paid. There's none. The most I pay you when it sees fit. And he don't even guarantee you anything. And say, well, all right, follow the laws. You know, he will ensure, the only thing guarantee you that, you know, he will find food for you. But to the man in the world now, finding food is, you know, knowing where the food coming from. You understand?
Yes, sir. I.S.U.P.K. Chattanooga, invite, send you an invitation, sir.
On
TikTok.
Me not see it.
Look where you see the two, the lower left-hand corner, you see two person, two icon of a person.
Right.
A blue and a red one.
Right.
Click on it and you will see it.
Chattanooga. Where Chattanooga there again? Go live together. All right. I'm not. They send the invite?
Concert.
I'm not seeing it. How could I find them? All right, UPK Chattanooga. Send me the invite again. Let me see. Somebody talk through, brother. Cash Bones, share the live and coach more. All right. Oh, Adam said 15 years. Hold on. Adam a Jamaican. 15 years for gun possession. Right. Yet still, the man who make the gun don't get a minute in jail. And is he make it? But you get caught with it. 15. 20 them you want to go find out. It was 2 years. Mandatory 2 years. Now it's what? 15-year mandatory sentence they want. And then you now telling us that you're trying to stop the crime in our amongst our people. You don't want to stop crime. You want to oppress the people some more. Yeah, that is why you come in with states of emergency.
That's right.
It's the one that says go live together, right?
Sir, I think so.
I'm not seeing Chattanooga. I see the viewers. I'm not seeing Chattanooga. All right, Chattanooga, if you're still out there, send me the request again. All right, so we have one more in Esdras, in Nehemiah, verse 19. Read 18 and 19.
We're on verse 19, sir. Do you want 18 again?
Read 18 again.
Another one, Khan. Verse 18. Now that which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep, also fowls prepared for me, and once in 10 days store of all sorts of wine. Yet for all this required, not I the bread of the governor, nor because the bondage was heavy upon this people. Verse 19. Think upon me, my God, for good, according to all that I have done for this people.
Right. Think upon me, my Lord, for good. So in other words, bless me, my Lord, for all that I've done for this people. I'm working to them without even wages. So you know how he feed himself? You have to work otherwise. He had his servants and so on, and he was given some favors from the king. But as governor, he wasn't exacting any oppression on his people. That's how you know that those who rule over us is not really our people, you know. Yeah. Because they exact oppression upon us. All right, let's go to next chapter.
Chapter 6, the book of Nehemiah, Khan, Salakia. The book of Nehemiah, chapter 6, verse 1. Now it came to pass when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem, the Arabian, and the rest of our enemies heard that I had builded the wall and that there was no breach left therein, though at the time I had not set up the doors upon the gates, that Sanballat and Geshem sent unto me, saying, Come, let us meet together in some one of the villages in the plain of Ono. But they thought to do me mischief. And I sent messages unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease whilst I leave it and come down to you?
All right. So you see what Nehemiah is experiencing, or was experiencing. It was the same thing when the what do you call them? The Maccabees, in the time of the Maccabees. It was the same tactics the Grecian used against Judas Maccabeus and the others. When they see the good work that they do amongst the people, they plot against them. You know, try to make them their friends just so they can kill them.
That's right.
Nehemiah was walking with the Most High, so Nehemiah understand what was going on. So each time they invite Nehemiah, Nehemiah not going anywhere. Me and you no friend, where you invite me for? Basically, that's what Nehemiah saying. You and I are not friends. Don't invite me. Read on.
Khan, verse 4. Yet they sent unto me 4 times after this sort, and I answered them after the same manner.
Right. 4 more times I said, come down, man. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Say, yeah, man, I have work you're doing. So these were governors of other provinces, you know. Nehemiah was governor over Jerusalem. So they wanted to set up Nehemiah just so they could kill him. Because they all, for 2 reasons. One, they know what was coming to them from the people of Jerusalem. And 2, they know what happens when we start keeping the laws. They don't like seeing us being too organized. They feel threatened. Even today, you coming out of slavery and look too organized, they fear that you might go and put them back in slavery. Yet still, you speak to them about slavery today, they tell you that we never want no slave. I this, I that. So if your conscience says you're that free, then you shouldn't have any fear in seeing us rise. You shouldn't have any fear because your conscience says you're free. But because their conscience hold them, they know that their foreparents did have us in slavery. They fear that the same thing might come happen to them. Their conscience don't set them free, man. Read on.
Khan, verse 5. Then sent Sanballat his servant unto me in like manner the 5th time, with an open letter in his hand, wherein was written, it is reported among the heathen that Gashmu saith it, that thou and the Jews think to rebel, for which cause thou buildest the wall, that thou mayest be their king according to these words.
All right, so what they start to know, they start to bring up conspiracy against Nehemiah. That Nehemiah now build the wall to rebel against the king and to make himself king. So you see who them going to they want to tackle now. Nehemiah. We in the truth, we speak for our people. What does what they call that community in America that blacklist or blacklist UPK in America?
The Southern Poverty Law Center.
Right.
Okay. Got it.
Right. Blacklist us that we are hate group.
Right.
I mean, it's not new. Same thing they did to Nehemiah. So the conspiracy that they want to bring out on Nehemiah is that Nehemiah want to make himself king. But Nehemiah was just the governor. Read on.
Khan, verse 7. And thou hast also appointed prophets to preach of thee at Jerusalem, saying, there is a king in Judah, and now shall it be reported to the king according to these words. Come now, therefore, and let us take counsel together.
So this is what will be going to the king. Come and talk to us, because I'm sure you would like this to go to the king. Come and take counsel with us. But taking counsel with them now and they slip poison in your food. That's what they want to do. Read on.
Khan, verse 8. Then I sent unto him, saying, there are no such things done as thou sayest, but thou feignest them out of thine own heart.
Right. You pretend them out. Look for the word feign. You pretend them out of your own heart. No such thing done as you are saying. You are the author and the instigator of that. What feign? F-E-I-G-N. Who got it?
Slakia, sir. Say that again, sir.
The word feign. Look for the word feign. F-E-I-G-N. Feign. Feign. It's feign. It's feign. Feign, whatever it is. Just find it.
Cancer. Feign. Pretend to be affected by a feeling, state, or injury.
Right. So he is pretend that, oh, this is what people is saying about you, and I don't want them to say it about you. So it's pretense. You come up with this thing out of your own heart. No such thing is being done. All right, read on.
Khan. Verse 9. For they all made us afraid, saying, their hands shall be weakened from the work, that it be not done. Now, therefore, O God, strengthen my hands.
Right. So when you hear these things now, just like the Southern Poverty Law Center, when they start to say, I.S.U.P.K is an hate group, what this has done, it has drove many brothers away, make their hand become feeble. So boy, you know, I associate with them, you know. Can see it. One little group, one little idiot group, you know, not even a government group, saying that they are hate group. So this now Sanballat and him friend them was trying to weaken the hands of. They remember they were trying to weaken their hands from the time they were building the wall, from the time they were building the temple also. And they see that none of that worked. So now they're trying to now pull away people from Nehemiah. So that's a lot of the brothers now. Nobody try to associate with Nehemiah, because if the king get the impression that Nehemiah is trying to set himself up as king, then he's going to attack Nehemiah and all who are around Nehemiah. So they will pull themselves away. Right. They're doing the same thing with Commanding General YAHANNA. They spread so many rumors
That's
of
right.
it that you hear the rumors now and say, oh, sir, don't want to associate with him. But guess what? We who remain would still die for Commanding General YAHANNA and the work that he has done and is doing in the ISUPK. Right?
Cool.
And that hurts them. So you carry them to court and you do all things. Well, this is so because blah, 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 blah. Way back when they used to do that. I mean, gosh, way back when you used to have us in shackles. I mean, are we holding that against you and saying that you're going to do it now? You're doing it now? No. We don't talk about no way back when. We won't go say you should be paying us reparation. And our government don't even have a sense to see that these people get nothing. Ease up the pressure of usury on them. I mean, if you do it for business. Give the people a window. These commercial banks don't want to give the people a window, you know. They want to use their money, which is more expensive. But what the government can do is provide. The government have the strength to set up, even through their different organization, a window that the people can use. But they are afraid that if they do it, then the money that would come to them for, what do you call it? Sponsorship. But the donations to the party, that might not come. So they are afraid of that. All right, read on.
Another one, Khan. Verse 10. Afterward I came unto the house of Shemaiah, the son of Deliah, the son of Mehetabeel, who was shut up, and he said, let us meet together in the house of God, within the temple, and let us shut the doors of the temple, for they will come to slay thee. Yea, in the night will they come to slay thee.
Read on.
Another one, verse 11. And I said, should such a man as I flee? And I, who is there, that being as I am, would go into the temple to save his life, I will not go in.
Everything they try, Nehemiah not taking the bait. This fish not biting. Read on.
Another one, verse 12. And lo, I perceived that God had not sent him, but that he pronounced this prophecy against me, for Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him.
All right. So that was what the Most High showed Nehemiah. Boy, this man is now being an agent of the same man who want to kill you. This man who came to him was a Jew, you know. Was an Israelite by blood. That's why he was telling him, let us go in the temple.
Khan.
Because he has access to the temple. He's a Jew. They're not just a one sometime. So they were doing the work of the heathen in trying to get rid of Nehemiah. Look at the good work that Nehemiah was doing, but they see Nehemiah as a problem because they want to hunt us and suck our blood like worse than mosquitoes. Want to get you into that grip like a lion or a wild beast would put you in and pull your blood, break your limb, and eat you. But Nehemiah was the one preventing them right now. So they want to get Nehemiah out of the way. Read on.
Another one, Khan. Verse 13. Therefore was he hired, that I should be afraid and do so and sin, and that they might have a matter, Salakia, that they might have matter for an evil report, that they might reproach me.
Right. So they want him now to take actions now where make it look like he's moving against what my name, Sanballat. You understand? So him now start moving against Sanballat now would be a reason for Sanballat to physically come up against him. So they now would have become a reproach unto him, Nehemiah. Read on.
Another one, Khan. Verse 14. My God, think thou upon Tobiah and Sanballat, according to these their words, and on the and of the prophetess Noadiah, Salakia, Noadiah, and the rest of the prophets that would have put me in fear.
Look at that. Some of the prophets were trying to put him in fear. Think thou upon Tobiah and Sanballat according to these works, to their works, and on the prophetess and the rest of the prophet that would have put me in fear. Just like how they, from time to time they would get through some young officers in the UPK and tell them, you should not do this, you should not do that, and blah, 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 blah. And they would say, I know, yes. You know what? You know nothing. Read the scriptures. Ask for the breakdown. Ask for the proper breakdown. All these heathens and some of your people are trying to do is to weaken your hand from getting your people sealed. Because I say, as soon as the sealing accomplish what the most I want to accomplish, the bombs are going to rain down. That's the only thing that is holding back this world now. That's what it comes down to. Him. Your people, if you get the people to come together now, the bombs come down. And the most I know is pushing it, where it's going to force us now to come together. You'll be forced to come together. Because he wants it. He was with Nehemiah. Why was he with Nehemiah and not many of those prophets? Because Nehemiah have a heart to see the people grow again.
That's right.
Nehemiah didn't see the people as prey. They want to put on the people for a prey. Nehemiah was preventing that. So Nehemiah have now begun to be hated. All right, read on.
Another one, verse 15. So the war was finished in the 20th and 5th day of the month Elul, in 52 days.
So it
and
took
it
them
came
50 days to finish the wall. Continue.
Another one, verse 16. And it came to pass that when all our enemies heard thereof, and all the heathen that were about us saw these things, they were much cast down in their own eyes, for they perceived that this work was wrought of our God.
Right. So they realize, this must be God. This must be God at work. Just like how a lot of from UPK 1969 till now, a lot of the heathens out there know that it must be God, because they themselves tell you, that you people are the only black group that we haven't been able to infiltrate. Yep. There was infiltration in the time of Nehemiah, even at the level of the prophets. But today, the Most High is telling you that He's opened a door that no man can shut.
Con.
What verse is that now?
There's verse 17, other one.
All right, read on.
Con, other one, con, verse 17. Moreover, in those days, the nobles of Judah sent many letters unto Tobiah, and the letters of Tobiah came unto them. For there were many in Judah sworn unto him, because he was the son-in-law of Sheshaniah, the son of Arah, and his son, Jonanan, had taken the daughter of Meshullam, the son of Berechiah. Also they reported this good deeds before me, and uttered my words to him. And Tobiah sent letters to put me in fear.
So you see what happened? These were people who were joined to us heathen, but they were joined to us through marriage. In those days, the nobles of Judah sent many letters to Tobiah, and the letters of Tobiah came unto them. So they were writing each other. The nobles and Tobiah, they were writing each other. For there were many in Judah sworn unto Tobiah, sworn unto him, because he was the son-in-law of Shechaniah, the son of Ariah. So he was a son-in-law to some of them. And his son, Johanan, had taken the daughter of Meshullam, the son of Berechiah. So intermarriage take place there, and people getting loyal to people. So what Nehemiah was doing was breaking up the dolly house. You ever hear the word status quo? You know that word, right?
Cancer.
Nehemiah was shaking down the status quo at the time. But the Most High was with him, so they could not trick him and kill him. Yeah, when God is in your corner, they can't trick you and kill you them kind of way. They can't trick you and kill you once God is in your corner. All right, finish?
Yeah, yes, chapter 7 next, sir.
All right, so that's it from Nehemiah. We're going into, we're going to look at the laws now, which allow Nehemiah to do what he did. Leviticus 25, 1 to 7. Leviticus 25. Leviticus 25.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord. 6 years.
Yeah, read that.
Can't another one can't. Verse 3. 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in fruit thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard.
All right. Read next. All right, read verse 6.
Can't another one can't. Verse 6. And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee, and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger that sojourneth with thee.
All right. So what the most I do is allow you to plant for 6 years, and the 7th year is a poor benefit. That's one way that he look out for the poor. All right. The next way is read verse 11.
Khan, another one, Khan. Verse 11. A jubile shall that 50th year.
Jubilee.
Shalakia. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. Ye shall not sow, neither reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it of the vine undressed.
All right.
For
Verse, hold on. Drop down to 13 now.
Khan, another one, Khan, verse 13. In the year of this jubilee ye shall return every man unto his possession.
So this is another way the Most High look out for the poor. So your property get caught up in what you call what call it when bank seize the land? What do you call that again? Foreclosure. So whenever your borrower foreclose on your property, or if you have to sell your property because of financial problems, it comes back to you every 50 years. So it's not a sale like now where you sell the land and you lose it forever. It automatically comes back. As long as it's not a land in the city, because it was the land in the city, that city property doesn't come back to you. Once you sell it, it's sell. And it can be bailed, nobody can bail out that. It left the discretion of the person you sold it to. So Jubilee is one way that the Most High use to bring us back, to take us back out of poverty. All right. Drop down to 23.
Khan, another one, Khan, verse 23. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine, for ye are strangers and sojourners with me. And in all the land of your possession ye shall grant a redemption for the land.
Read on.
Khan, another one, Khan, verse 25. If thy brother be waxen poor, and hath sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold.
So if the Jubilee doesn't come, but some family member want to redeem the land back to you, they can do it. And the person who you sold it to have to sell it back, sell it back to you, so that you can redeem your brother. These are ways that the Most High look out for the poor. All right, this was what I was telling you about the house in the city now, verse 32.
Khan, another one, Khan, verse 32. Notwithstanding the cities of the Levites.
Hold on. Let me see if that's it. (29 and 30).
Khan, another one, Khan, verse 29. And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold. Within a full year may he redeem it.
30.
Verse 30. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be established forever to him that bought it throughout his generation. it shall not go out in the Jubilee.
Right. So we had laws that govern our property. The Most High's is reason for giving us law. That's why I said the Most High, the laws are not grievous. He did not give us laws to make us poor. He did not give us laws to take away what you have. He gave a law that governs if you fall on hard time, you can bounce back. Not so in Esau world. Next one now is 35, 36, 37.
Khan, another one, Khan, verse 35. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of him, or increase, but fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase.
Right. So that's a law that we have. The Most High, we were commanded not to charge interest from each other. Understand?
That's right.
All right. In your spare time, this is a good chapter to read, Leviticus 25. All right, take me now to Deuteronomy.
Yes, sir. A question, sir, if I may.
Yeah.
So say we get UPK garments, specialized garments, sent to Jamaica from the US or to the UK from the US. Is that a precept to law saying that nobody should be putting $1,000 on top, a £5 note on top, making a bit of side money off the garments?
No. Usury deals with money, victuals, oil, corn. In other words, if I borrow corn from you, you say, all right, lend me a bag of corn. Then you can't tell me that I need to give you a bag plus 2 pounds.
Corn, another one, corn.
Or a bag of corn, I give you back a bag of corn. That goes
if I
for,
may, sir.
But hold on, but you're selling things like that. You make a garment to sell it. You sell it for whatever you think it can be sold for. That is not usury.
Salaki, other one, if I may.
Yeah.
So if a man sells a garment or sends a batch of garments, of 50 garments, and charges you £20 per garment or £50 per garment from the US, are any of the Okyums in the school allowed to sell them back at 60 or 70 pounds, for example?
All right. It depends. Did you buy them at a price to sell it back? Is it that what you're doing? Was it that what?
I'm not necessarily talking about myself, sir. I'm just generalizing.
The person. Would that be what the person doing? Is it that they're buying it at a price to sell it back at a price? Because you can do that.
You can do that, sir.
Right. But the Most High requires fairness from you. There becomes a price which your very own conscience is going to say, no, the price is too high.
Another one, can't.
But you know, if you are greedy, you're going to fight that conscience and keep the price up there. But there is a reasonable price that you charge for if you take something at one price and sell it back for another price. I mean, that's not usury. That's business you're doing.
Can't, another one can't.
If I borrow money from you and you say, all right, I pay you back in 3 years, and you say, all right, I'm going to charge you, what's the going rate now? They're going to charge like 15%, 20% per annum now. Then that is usury, because it means each year I should pay you 20% of that money which I borrow. So let's say it's 100,000. Each year I have to, so I'm going to pay you back 100 and how much? If I borrow 100,000 from you for 3 years at 20% per annum, how much I actually pay you back after 3 years?
120.
Nope.
Oh, 20% increase. Salakia, is it?
Per annum.
Per 100. That's
No,
1/5.
20%
is 1/5,
each
sir.
year. No, is 1/20. 20% per annum. So all right, 20. That's why I use 100,000 for ease of calculation. So 20% of 100,000 would be how much?
20% of 100,000 would
Yeah.
be 5 grand.
No.
20% of 100 grand. 5%. Yeah. Oh, it's 1/5. 20% is 1/5.
No, 20% is 20%. You have answer, Officer Kayadon?
Oh, you say if somebody lend you at an interest of 20% per annum and 3 years,
right?
You'd pay an additional $60,000.
So the 20% of the 100,000 will be 20,000.
Yeah, Salakia said, yeah, I did say that. That's what I said. 1/5. 20% is 1/5.
Oh yeah, 1/5 of the 100,000, right? So no, because you said 5,000, you get me throw me off there with the 1/5.
Can't have one cancer.
All right. So if you pay 20,000 interest per annum, how much you actually pay?
20,000 a year on the 100 grand.
For 3 years.
60,000, sir.
So you actually be paying $60,000 on that money. So you're actually paying more than half the money. And in today's world, you have service charge and processing fee and all kind of different fees, right? which is probably another 20%. So at the end of that 3 years, you pay more than half the money that you borrow. That is why it's called usury. So if you borrowed it for 5 years, you're gonna be paying double the amount that you borrow.
Concept.
Now our law says don't do that unto your brother. But our law also says you can go do it to a stranger, to another nation. Do it to the heathen. Don't do it to your brother.
Can't, another one can't.
I think it is right here in this same law. Let me see. All right, let's check in Deuteronomy if it is there in Deuteronomy. Go to Deuteronomy
23 and 20, sir.
Deuteronomy 23, right? Let's read 19 and 20.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 19. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury.
Right.
Verse 20.
Hold on. So it says that you can lend to your brother these things and require more than you lend to him. Verse 20.
Another one can't. Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all that settest thine hand into the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Right. So you lend it to a stranger. Who is the stranger it's talking about now? That is why now we say, you have to come to class to understand these things. It's two kind of stranger the Bible tell you about. There's a stranger, which is a brother, which is an Israelite from some far place, moved to where you are. He's a stranger. But it also called heathens, who are of a different nation, stranger.
That's
even
right.
if them grew up beside you, they are the stranger. So you say you can charge them usury, but you dare not do it to your brother. So even your brother who sojourned from afar and is an Israelite and he come amongst you, you can't charge him usury. All right, same Deuteronomy. If you read 21, then you would understand why Nehemiah let those nobles pledge before the priest. 21. Read same Deuteronomy 23 and 21.
Deuteronomy, Salakia, chapter 21.
See, no man, same 23 that you're at. Drop down to verse 21.
Another one can't. Verse 21. When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pay it, for the Lord thy God will surely require it of thee, and it would be in sin in thee.
It will be sin in thee. So that's why Nehemiah, when they say, okay, we're not going to charge them with it, Nehemiah just get the priest and let them make that statement before the priest. So that if they go back on their word and go charge the brothers usury, the Most High is going to require it of them and punish them. All right. Give me in the New Testament now, Christ, we know that Christ fought hard against any kind of oppression. Even those that was in the temple. I think it's Matthew 21, 12 and 13. When he threw out the money changers out the temple, he called them thieves.
Another one can't, sir. It's verse 12. It starts at verse 12.
Matthew 21. Yeah,
where Yahushua is cleansing the temple.
Right.
The book of Matthew, chapter 21, verse 12. And Yahushua went into the temple of Yahweh and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves.
All right. 13.
Another one can't. And said unto them, it is written, my house shall be called the house of prayer, but ye have made it the den of thieves.
Made it a den of thieves. Because what was happening now? When they start to sell the doves and things within the temple, you are now more inclined to buy it in the temple, because you're going to buy this dove in the holy place at a price, of course, that is going to be higher than buying the one you buy outside. Because you're going to have the opinion that the one in the temple more cleaner and holier than the one out the door. But But of course, there are thieves.
Salakia Adawan, if I may.
Yeah.
How old is Yahweh Shai when he does this? Do we know?
Well, you can use, they can ascertain it, but you're not going to know for sure. They estimate that he was around 30 something. But I don't think we don't teach that, because the Bible doesn't tell you definitively. But he was, remember, he went when Mary and Joseph was in Jerusalem with him, and he was speaking to the learned men. He was about 12.
Another one can't.
And then he disappeared for some 18 years.
Can't, another one can't. That's what I was getting at, sir. This is when he had come back and he was an adult now.
Right. So when he came back now, he was an adult and he was setting up his ministry. And within that short period of time that he used to set up his ministry, he did great many works. So much so that even the scriptures said that, you know, books couldn't hold the amount of things that he did.
That's right.
But what he did, when he traced those money changers and business out of the temple, was these, of course, would have been businesses that you're not going to go in the temple and buy a dove and it's going to be cheaper than the one outside. It's not going to be cheaper. And also, when they study archaeological, when they do archaeological study at the old temple, which was around when Christ was around, they find many bath houses around the temple because you had to wash before you go in the temple. Bath houses were one of the places that they were making money. And money changes now because Passover now, you have Jews from every country in the world. At any time, the known countries of the world, there are Jews that would come to Jerusalem. They would come with the money that they would spend in their country. And that is like a cambio. So the money changers in Jesus' time would be like a cambio, the bank. So they would exchange the money for the money that would be used in Jerusalem.
That's right.
Understand? So they would, but Christ didn't want them doing that in the temple because they weren't giving a fair exchange. They call them thief. Come out of here so with that kind of thing. Now, in the time of Nehemiah, this was what our people was doing to our people.
That's right.
Yeah, they were being unfair to our people. So every time that we're under oppression, our people learn from the heathens these things and how to oppress is their own people. This is not something that they learn by keeping the laws. Because if they keep the law, then they will see that the law says you can't oppress your people. But they are lawbreakers. That is why they're telling nowadays, but law done away with and all that. Because if the laws are not done away with, then they can't oppress you. But the laws are done away with. So they tell about law done away with because they want to oppress you. All right, so we can close with Revelation 22, 13 and 14.
The book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 13. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments.
Blessed are they.
Blessed are they that do his commandments.
All right, so you have to emphasize do his commandments. Because people believe that it's just a matter of you thinking it and not doing it. Read
That's
that again.
right.
Blessed are they.
Another one, Khan. Blessed are they that do his commandments,
Read on.
that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city.
Blessed are they that do his commandment. So stop oppressing your own people. We have a commandment that prevents us from oppressing each other. That is
That's
law,
right.
of our law. So stop eating and oppressing each other.
That's right.
So that you can enter in, get the tree of life. That's why we in the truth, I.S.U.P.K have to be licking so hard against the Christian church. Because they keep their mouth shut on the oppression of the Most High's people. How can we run behind them when they are denying you of your identity? If they deny you of your identity, what will they not deny you of? They are denying you of your right to freedom, the right to not be oppressed by your own people. But they want to oppress you. So what? The laws are done away. Yes.
That your sir, so they keep their mouth shut. They don't only keep their mouth shut, they keep their hands open. Because while they watch you being oppressed, they're still collecting from the same people who are oppressed.
Yes, they're more, yeah. In the under the oppression, you still have to pay your 10%. They still want you to come through your tithes and they're not telling you the truth. They're not showing you the way to true freedom. Tell you, oh, just look to the sky and wait till Christ comes. What do you do in the meantime? Sing Kumbaya and hold hands. And that's what you do until Christ returns. That's what the Rastafarians and the Christians want you to do. Rasta tell you
That's
that.
right.
One love for everybody.
That's right.
There is no oppressor. And you oppress yourself. Damn. Isn't that cruel? This is how you know if somebody really loves you, man. You are being oppressed and they are, what oppression are you talking about? I don't see any oppression. And you know what you're feeling. And the thing is, they know what you're feeling, you know. But they are denying it. They are even denying you the right for you to grieve. Come on, just shut up and pay your tithes. Come to church and you're going to go back home feeling good. Brother, you need to be in church every Sunday so you can get that serum. And it lasts, yes, so that it lasts for a week and you feel good for the week and you come back the next week for your shot. That's what the church wants you to do. The Rasta now I'm telling that when you can get a shot every day, you take your weed. Take it to a higher place. You don't see this, you don't feel this oppression. Yeah, that's what the weed's supposed to do to you, you know. So when you burn the weed and you're on a higher place, you say, what oppression? A man can't oppress the eye. The eye is king. The eye is God. It's I and I. You see them make call phone for I. They call it iPhone. When Bob Marley used to lick out against the system, you know, the man then see Bob Marley come back and drive BMW. So them start lick up on Bob Marley and say, you lick up on the system and you can buy the car or something. Say, Bob Marley say, you can stay there, go and talk. You see what I had I drive. What you think BMW stand for? Bob Marley and the wheelers. That is why I buy that car. It's for we. So you know I'm a real oppressor pick me now. Yeah, man. You listen to the Rasta talk, man. You stay in oppression. This is the Christianity. You stay in oppression. But you come into the I.S.U.P.K, home of the truth. We show you the true way to fight oppression without taking up any guns. Nehemiah didn't take up the gun and go and attack anybody. Neither did Christ.
That's right.
Right? And neither of any of us in the I.S.U.P.K. All right. So questions, statement, comment. Yes. Huh? Because it's law that you pay tithes. The Most High require that you pay 1/10 of your earnings. 2 is priests. But why we knock out against the church is that they tell you that the laws are done away with. So if the laws are done away with, then it means then that you don't have to pay them no tithes. But they tell you that yes, you must pay your tithes. So they hold that law, but tell us that the other ones are away with. And yet still, they tell you that you confess your sin to the priest. So if the law done away with, you can't sin. Which is why Christians are so confused. Any other question? All right, with that, we pass the class of priest and officer Kayadwan.
All right, clap it up. All right, these are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of One West